In the vibrant city of Accra, where the rhythmic beats of high life music mingle with the hum of daily life, lived a young girl named Aya. Her home, a modest apartment in a bustling neighborhood, was once filled with warmth and laughter, thanks to her mother, Amma, a beloved figure in their community for her generosity and culinary skills. Her father, Kofi, was a skilled craftsman known for his intricate beadwork, which adorned the homes and celebrations of many. Tragedy struck when Aya was 12 years old. Amma fell gravely ill, and despite the best efforts of the doctors and the heartfelt prayers of the community, she passed away. The loss left a gaping hole in Aya's heart and a silence in their home that seemed insurmountable. Kofi, overwhelmed by grief and the challenge of raising his daughter alone, was persuaded by well meaning relatives to remarry. They believed that a new wife would bring stability and comfort to their shattered family. Kofi's new wife, Efwa, entered their lives with promises of new beginnings. She was a striking woman with a commanding presence, known in her previous community for her charm and diplomacy. Her arrival was initially met with hope, but it soon became clear that her intentions were less than noble. Efwa's daughter, Abena, a sullen teenager, joined her in the household, bringing with her an air of entitlement and disdain for Aya. Life in the apartment quickly became a battleground. Efwa's kindness was a facade that masked her cruelty. Aya, once a cheerful and lively girl, now faced daily torments. She was assigned endless chores, from scrubbing the floors to cooking elaborate meals, while Efwa and Abena lounged in comfort. Her father, still engulfed in his grief and newly distracted by his second marriage, remained oblivious to the escalating mistreatment. Efwa's cruelty extended beyond mere neglect. She would belittle Aya, berating her for imagined sights and inventing reasons to punish her. Aya was often sent to bed hungry, with barely a kind word from anyone in the house. Her once vibrant spirit began to dim as she faced a relentless cycle of abuse and isolation. School, which had once been a sanctuary for Aya, became another source of distress. Her performance began to suffer as she struggled to balance her responsibilities at home with her studies. The once bright and engaged student became a shadow of her former self, her friends noticing her withdrawal demeanor but feeling powerless to intervene. One day, Aya was asked to fetch water from the communal well, a task that had become a grueling ordeal. After a long day of chores, she stumbled upon a conversation between Efwa and Abena. They were discussing their plans to send Aya away to live with distant relatives in the village, a move that would rid them of her once and for all. The idea of being uprooted from everything familiar, of leaving behind the city she had always known, filled Aya with dread. She felt a profound sense of betrayal and despair. That night, she lay in her small, dimly lit room, tears streaming down her face as she clutched a warm photograph of her mother. The photograph, a relic of happier times, was a bittersweet reminder of the love she had lost and the comfort she yearned for. The days that followed were marked by increasing tension and unease. Efwa's intentions became more apparent as she began preparing for Aya's departure. She packed Aya's belongings with a callous efficiency, treating the girl's treasured possessions with little regard. Kofi, blinded by his love for Efwa and caught up in the demands of his work, remained oblivious to the gravity of the situation. One evening, as Aya sat in the garden that her mother had lovingly tended, she encountered Nanaya, an elderly woman who lived in the outskirts of the neighborhood. Nanaya was known for her wisdom and her gentle demeanor. She noticed Aya's downcast expression and invited her to sit with her under the shade of a large mango tree. Aya poured out her heart, sharing her fears and her pain. Nana listened with great compassion. She offered comfort and shared stories of resilience and hope. Her presence was a balm to Aya's wounded spirit, and their conversations became a source of solace. Nana encouraged Aya to stay strong and to hold on to the hope of a better future, despite the adversity she faced. As the days turned into weeks, the tension within the household reached a breaking point. Efwa's behavior became more erratic, and her treatment of Aya grew increasingly harsh. One fateful day, after an unjust accusation of theft, Aya was locked in a small dark room. The confinement was not just physical, but emotional, a symbol of the isolation and despair she felt. Desperate for an escape, Aya planned to leave. She waited for a night when Efwa and Abena would be away visiting relatives. With a heavy heart, she slipped out of the apartment and made her way to Nana's home. The elderly woman welcomed her with open arms, offering refuge and care. Nana's home was a sanctuary. It was filled with warmth and love, a stark contrast to the coldness Aya had endured. Under Nana's guidance, Aya began to heal. The elderly woman's stories and wisdom provided a new perspective on her struggles. Aya's strength and resilience were rekindled as she started to regain her confidence and sense of self worth. Meanwhile, Kofi was becoming increasingly suspicious of Efwa's behavior. The community had begun to voice their concerns, and whispers of discontent reached Kofi's ears. When he finally confronted Efwa, he was met with a torrent of excuses and accusations. It was only when the truth about Aya's mistreatment was laid bare that Kofi's eyes were opened. He was filled with remorse for his failure to protect his daughter and for allowing Efwa's cruelty to go unchecked. Determined to make things right, Kofi sought to find Aya and bring her back. His search was filled with anxiety and regret, but Nana's guardians helped him locate her. Kofi's reunion with Aya was bittersweet. He apologized profusely, acknowledging his mistakes and vowing to rectify them. The healing process was gradual, and the scars of betrayal and cruelty were not easy to fade. Efwa, having been exposed, left the city in disgrace. Her departure was met with relief from the community, who had grown wary of her manipulations. The village rallied around Kofi and Aya, offering support and understanding as they began to rebuild their lives. Aya's journey of healing was not without its challenges. The wounds of her past lingered, and the road to recovery was long. However, with her father's newfound commitment and the support of Nana and the community, Aya began to envision a future beyond her suffering. She found solace in helping others who faced similar challenges, using her experience. Her story became a powerful lesson for the community about the importance of empathy, vigilance, and the impact of neglect. It highlighted the need for compassion and understanding. In the end, Aya and Kofi forged a new path forward, guided by the lessons of the past and the hope for a brighter future. The story became a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the transformative power for forgiveness and healing. The moral of this story is betrayal and cruelty can cause deep and lasting pain, but through resilience, forgiveness, and the support of compassionate individuals, one can overcome even the darkest trials and find hope and redemption.